clam, XO sauce, and linguine.
Like so many, Dale Talde blew up on Top Chef. And with his two business partners, he's been on a real tear the last few years, expanding from the original Brooklyn location to a second Brooklyn spot, restaurants and hotels on the Bowery and the Flatiron, a spot in Jersey City and Miami Beach as well. And I think he's just getting started.
I'm Mike Colameco, industry insider. Been in the business my whole life, and I know what it takes to succeed. Each week we'll take you into real kitchens, filmed in real time. Backstage passes to a day in the life of chefs, restaurateurs, and their teams. The competition's fierce. Careers, life savings, and reputations hang in the balance. These are my people, and this is their passion. And that's what's next on Mike Colameco's Real Food.
Mike Colameco's Real Food is brought to you by the continuous, generous support of the following underwriters.
Extra virgin olive oil from Colavita, an Italian family brand.
Rachel Ray's signature specialty food line, designed for preparing meals at home.
So what happened to these wings before I saw them now? They've been marinated?
Yeah, I'll talk about it. It's yogurt and a kimchi marinade that we make. A little garam masala and some other spices, turmeric, and one of my favorite things is Frank's Red Hot Sauce.
That's a hell of a mix. Quick, give me the Cliff Notes. Born and raised Chicago suburbs, parents both Philippine, expats.
Yep.
Mom was a great chef, but she couldn't make fried chicken.
Yes.
We established that.
Mom was a great chef. She just didn't want to bother with the mess that fried chicken made.
It's a
she was
mess.
also economical in her actions.
As you and I know, it's a mess. The mise en place to make it's a mess, and then frying's a mess, and the stove's a mess, and the cleanup's a mess, and what do you do? Yeah. So, what got you? What went off in your head to say I want to become a chef?
You know, my mom, large family. My dad's one of 13. My mom's one of 13.
Wow.
My mom's side of the family, a lot of them in Chicago. So you can imagine every month there was a christening, a birthday party, a
whatever
anniversary,
happens next,
something.
right.
Yeah, it was always potluck. You know, bring your best dish, which I loved. I still think it's one of the coolest ways to do a party. Bring your best, right? And my aunt, you would hear the conversations. What are you making? This is, you know, I've been craving this. You can tell that that food was a real sense of like missing home, right? It was a way to connect them to the Philippines. This batter is just rice, flour, and water. We get this going in the batter, and in a low, 285 degree fryer.
It's like you're blanching it.
Exactly. Like you're blanching French fries, exactly. I also worked at a grocery store. The neighborhood I lived in was very ethnic. And you know, it's an Indian family, and you see a lot of butter, a lot of milk, tons of cumin, a ton of chilies, a lot of cilantro, rarely ever any meat.
Right.
Then the Mexican family comes, and it's cilantro still, different chilies, tons of pork, masa to make tortillas. And in your head, you're starting to see just culturally how people are eating. Second part of the chicken, we just call it the second batter. So it's rice flour again, water, fish sauce, Korean chili flakes. The first fry is kind of just to protect it and crisp it up. This one's to really give it its character and its signature crisp. And this is at a higher temperature, 325. So my mother growing up, if we wanted fast food, there was always, I made food, there's food at the house. Always.
Right.
Always.
No, you're not going to McDonald's.
You're not going to McDonald's. Yeah, you're not doing
I got
that. Except for fried chicken. That was my mom's Achilles heel. That was her weakness. Mom, can we get fried chicken? Okay. Make a pot of rice and I'll be home with a 24-piece from wherever, from Popeyes or wherever. So whatever garnish goes with the fried chicken will always stay the same. The sauce, which is more yogurt, kimchi juice, fish sauce, Frank's Red Hot Sauce.
That's on the bottom of the plate.
That's on the bottom of the plate. That will never change. But what we garnish the dish will. So stone fruits, peaches, really we're inspired by whatever we'll see at the market.
Yeah, it was really fun. So this one, was it cherries you were using?
Yeah, we're using cherries now.
Right. I was like, what's that doing on the plate? And I'm like, they're in season. I'm a thigh guy, but I'm going for this breast just looks stupidly good.
And the knife had trouble going through that. It's like lacquer. I mean, what's not to love? That's about perfect.
Thank you, sir.
Killer. I mean, you must sell, this must be like the #1 big plate.
Yeah. You know, you see the parents in Park Slope that don't want to cook will come in here, grab this and a crab fried rice and call it dinner.
And why not? And cooking school at some point?
I graduated high school in '96, and in '97 I enrolled to the Culinary Institute of America. Went back to Chicago, worked there, and then in '04 I was out of a job. And for someone who had worked constantly since he graduated, you know, 2 3-star restaurants in Chicago, the AM cook for lunch, and then the PM guy, you know, working 6 days a week, sometimes 7. I was out of work for like a year, and it got like really bad. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna use this as a sign to get out of Chicago. I always wanted to go to New York, so I booked some tickets, got to New York, stayed on a friend's couch. The first day I got here, did Spice Market, WD-50, and Blue Ribbon in the same night.
Wow, that's a tour.
It is.
I had become friends with Dale Talde when I was running Enoteca. He lived a block away. He had done Top Chef season 4.
Right.
And he said to us, he was like, I'm not supposed to tell anybody. I had to sign an NDA, all this
Right.
stuff. But I am being asked to be part of Top Chef season 8, which is going to be an all-star season. And he was like, I don't care if I'm the first one voted off or I win the whole damn thing. I'm opening my own restaurant at the end of this. And I'd love to do it with you guys.
So it looks like we're doing crab fried rice.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Crab fried rice.
So you got a wok station, you had to do that. You got 2 woks, ton of BTUs,
Yeah, a ton of BTUs. You know, that real
super efficient cooking.
super
Bang.
efficient cooking, real fast. All fried rice here. We'll start with egg. Oil. Then here we have aromatics, shallots, celery, pickled jalapenos. Day-old jasmine rice. Really building on that wok hay. Blue and Jonah crab mix. We like using in season, what's the best crab meat you're gonna get? Salt, white pepper. We really love the idea of like aioli with rice. Spanish paellas get finished off, fideuà gets finished off with an aioli. So we have a fresh jalapeno aioli here. Fish sauce, egg yolks, bacon emulsion, and then really buzzing fresh jalapenos with the seeds in. It creams out the rice. We're gonna give this some more aioli on top. I love Italian food, not a secret. Mark Ladner had a dish at Del Posto when he was there that was his Dungeness and jalapeno pasta. I watched that so many times, kind of salivating and going, how can I interpret that dish and make it my own? And this is kind of what we came up with. So we finish this with red Tobiko and then some black Tobiko.
Color, salt, pop.
Yeah, it's salty pop and texture, you know,
Yeah.
like texture is huge in our food. So when we finish out with some cilantro leaves.
Who doesn't love crab fried rice? It's great that he's using, you know, so many of these places you think they're probably using pasteurized crab meat, canned crab meat because it's less expensive, shelf life, etc. This dish done right. So it's not all gopped up with soy sauce, sesame oil. Flavors are super clean. The crab meat's just delicious.
When we first opened up our first spot, in my mind, I was behind the bar, Dave was in front of house. That's it. That was our life. I was like, this is it. This is what I'm doing now.
For me, having worked for Joe Bastianich, I always had the how many restaurants are we going to open? But I would agree. At the time, all we were focused on was this one little
was our whole
perfect
life.
neighborhood gem.
Because you
corner
wake up,
spot.
you go to work.
No, it's what your dream
leave
come
work,
true,
you go
right?
home.
It's enough income to support 2 families. You do well.
Yep.
You control everything. You get
Yep.
along. I mean, that sounds like a perfect picture.
First, it took a while to conceptualize because we didn't know Dale didn't know what kind of restaurant he wanted to open. He knew he wanted it to be Asian in some way. And so what John and I started doing was every single regular customer that would walk into Thistle Hill Tavern, we would say, what do you think the neighborhood's missing? What do you think the neighborhood's missing? What do you think the neighborhood's missing? And they all kept saying modern Asian.
You know, a lot of times partners, you hear the stories of these people that just don't talk to each other anymore.
Best partners are dead partners, an old
Correct.
business expression.
And for me, it's it's like, it's a blessing, you know. We disagree a lot, but we somehow know how to hash it out.
We almost signed a lease on one space, got cold feet at the last minute, and on our walk back to Thistle Hill after turning down a lease, we found the space that is Talde, Brooklyn.
It's a great location. It's
Yeah.
a great corner. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, you walk in now, it's just looking natural.
And we didn't even know all the history behind the space,
Right,
and that it
with
had
the-
been a famous pub
Right.
that Pete Hamill had
right
written
across
about.
the street. I know.
But we did so much. Me and him learned together how to open up a restaurant, and then we actually, with Dale, learned how to open up multiple restaurants. Because I mean, we looked at 20 spots.
Yeah.
Oh, this place good. You know, had
Fell in love with 10 of
Yeah.
them.
That's
next.
that's
Next.
typical.
And
That's-
you know,
yeah.
it's totally
We
typical.
didn't know it.
But,
We didn't know
but
it.
having that like kind of heartbreak over and over and over again, like I feel like some people would never go back to trying
Even
to do
to the
that
point
again.
where we worried at times, did Dale think we didn't know what we were doing?
Any great dumpling, it starts with the filling, right? It's 70% lean pork meat, 30% pork fat, much like a sausage.
Like all pâtés.
All pâtés,
Right.
all sausages.
You're not going to eat any kind of horse meat unless you got at least 30% fat in there.
It's very simple. Chinese chives, white pepper, salt, a little bit of soy sauce, sugar, and a little bit of sesame oil. You know, my business partner David always said, if you can't describe what your restaurant is in 1 or 2 words, you will fail.
Yeah,
and
you're
it's a
dead.
Mario Batali
Yep.
thing. So we didn't want to do the modern Asian thing, and we wanted this because it was my last name to say who I was. So Asian American. Is it fusion? Yes. But are we a French chef that has a Japanese girlfriend and happens to love, you know, putting yuzu in his demi-glace? No. You know, we wanted to say it had a
Right.
real,
Right.
authentic POV. You know, after these are cooked, they're cooled for a little bit, but then we'll add some butter, some egg wash. To finish these dumplings off, these are rested 2 to 3 hours. We're just gonna pan fry these now. Hot pan. We love just to get a super nice crust on all sides of the dumpling. While they're still in the pan,
Salt.
just hit it with some pretzel salt.
It's supposed to be a pretzel.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a pretzel, so why not? Just
Yeah.
we're going for it. We decided to go with a sesame Chinese mustard. So it's tahini, rice wine vinegar, sugar, sesame oil, and then a really, really pungent Chinese mustard. That's it.
Bingo. So, you know, you walk in here, and one of the big parts of the personality of this space is all of this carved woodwork. And, you know, I have a couple of drinks, and I'm not paying attention, and like I have a moment, and I'm looking, I'm thinking, wow, what's the story behind this? Because clearly you bought this somewhere. But what's the story behind the wood?
So my business partners, they were in an antique store, Old Good Things in Scranton, PA. They found this piece here. And apparently all this carved wood came out of one person's home, Arnold Constable, who is credited for the first department store. He had a mansion in Mamaroneck, New York, and all this wood came out of his study. So he had commissioned Japanese temple makers. I want this to be my study.
right.
And what's not here, a 6-foot carved wood dragon that just did not make it in here.
No, the next Talde somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere. It
Miami,
actually made it to
Vegas.
actually we sold it to Miami, so Miami Talde has it front and center there.
So this pad thai dish, this is another one that was like signature, been on the menu since day one.
This was an OG dish from day one. This dish also starts with some egg. You know, I love Southeast Asian food, and I also like to excessively drink every once in a while. And I always thought that pad thai was the biggest or the best hangover cure. And then some aromatics, Chinese chives, a little rendered bacon, crunchy,
Crispy,
acidic,
crunchy, sweet,
yeah,
acidic, it's
sour.
got everything you want.
Everything you want. I thought it was an instant hangover killer. Then we go in with the noodles. These are just rice noodles that we've soaked in water. You know, getting it some contact with the wok and really getting some char on it. They call it the breath of a wok.
Yeah.
So wok hay, the breath of a wok. It's really getting that carbon, that iron flavor right into the dish. Some more garnishes, bean sprouts, peanuts, more bacon, and this is our pad thai sauce. So this is mainly tamarind, fish sauce, and palm sugar. That's done. Now we're gonna fry some oysters.
cornstarch?
No, rice flour again.
Again, rice flour. Look
flour
at
again.
how fine that is.
Yeah, it's super fine,
And it gets super crispy.
crunchy.
Yeah.
It's more of a crust than it is actually a batter or a breading. You know, I think with any classic pad thai, you see that sheen, that really nice sheen. You know that palm sugar is caramelized. You finish it with a little bit of lemon, or I'm sorry, a little bit of peanut, a little bit of
Red onion? Cabbage?
red cabbage.
Red
I mean,
cabbage.
this is one of the things I do like about the nickel and diamond pad thai places around here. They always put like this fresh, crunchy cabbage on it, and whether it's to like bump up the dish, from a like value point of view, I just love the fresh crunch of a vegetable.
Yeah, the texture.
Yeah, it gives it some
Yeah.
texture. Randomly just place these oysters.
Beautiful.
There you go.
All right, outside Atlantic Social. So this is, I mean, I'm calling this neighborhood the Barclay Center because that was really the catalyst, but kind of Prospect Heights.
Prospect Heights, yeah. Prospect Heights, Fort Greene, Clinton Hill, kind of all coming together.
And this neighborhood, I mean, it's just like across the street from us is an active construction site. Everywhere I'm looking is basically new construction, new construction. I mean, that thing was sort of the engine of whatever.
Correct. But it's amazing to see a game, concert, come over to Atlantic Social and get some bites before and after.
So on nights when like Iron Maiden's playing here or Kendrick Lamar, you're killing it. There's 3 deep at the bar.
3 deep at the bar, we're killing it. It's super busy. And we're still trying to find, you know, like, the business is great and we love the neighborhood and we want to get our name out there. And, you know, when the nights that there's nothing going on at Barclay Center, we're still trying to find our footing a little bit. Where do we fit in this neighborhood? So it's a tempura fried bronzino with a salsa verde. We do guac, some crema, limes and tortillas, and it's really kind of
Put it together yourself and have
yourself.
fun.
Yeah, let me make you one.
Yeah, I love to make this at home in the summer, man. It's like a go-to.
Oh my God. I mean,
And then we eat so fast, like, put that stuff out, there's no conversation. 10 minutes later, you're just like, I'm done. Thank you, chef.
I will make one for myself too, because it does look good. Yeah, I mean, to me, this is summer, right? Mm-hmm. And that says summer to me. All I need is some sand in my feet and a Corona.
That's a fact. All right, everyone's got to have a signature burger.
Yeah,
Talk to me.
this is ours. 2 smashed patties.
It's 2 patties.
2 patties. It's 2 different cheeses, American and cheddar, melted on top, thick cut fries, Martin's potato roll.
Classic, man.
Yeah, and
Get a big thing of ketchup next to it and get me a nice cold mug of beer, and I'm a happy camper.
it's a special sauce. It's Kewpie mayo and mustard. I mean, it's
Okay, it's great mayonnaise, Japanese mayo, and good mustard.
But it's nothing fancy. It's what you want to eat when you're here, and it's a crowd pleaser. So not everything has to be avant-garde and kind of the next level and pumped with dry age. We grind the meat in house, and we just think it's a tasty burger. I actually think at all the restaurants we've done burgers at, this is my favorite version of it.
I love it.
And
nice pickles.
Yeah, pickles we make in house.
Just make it simple, make it delicious,
simple,
make
delicious.
it straight.
Yeah.
Talk to me.
So this is our Papas Bravas.
Right.
It's our play on potato skins, but spicy aioli in the bottom, crispy potatoes, manchego, chorizo, boquerones, and then Marcona almonds crushed over the top.
It's like delicious bar food.
Yeah, and it's what we wanted for something that you can identify with, but it's just a little bit unique.
So it's a squid ink pappardelle, and something that we really wanted to do was make like a vodka sauce. Like, we grew up, eating vodka sauce on the East Coast. I'm from Connecticut. We always had it, but we wanted to do something different to it. So we use Old Bay seasoning, vodka, our house marinara, and we throw piquito crab and blue crab. Simple dish, and it's just everything you think of, when you think of vodka sauce.
I love garlic knots. In the Midwest, you don't get them, but here, we wanted to have something fun and shareable in an app, and we knew our meatballs were too good to just be on spaghetti.
How are you making them, chef?
2 different meats, pork and beef, and we stole our Angel Carmelini trick, roasted eggplant. Your panade.
Massoni, Italian name, yours, describe it, because now we're kind of pulling Dale in another direction.
Sure.
So this isn't Asian fusion. I know in doing some reading, you called it Italian-ish, which I thought was pretty funny.
Yeah.
What is it?
We knew we wanted to do a European-based cuisine for this property. We were gonna have to serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner here in Midtown. Dale wanted to spread his wings a little bit, try a different cuisine. His favorite thing to cook at home is Italian and pasta. And so Dale said, well, I'm not just going to do, I don't want to do authentic. There are certain times where I feel like an ingredient would play better than the authentic dish. And Dale always remembered Mario saying, a true Italian chef cooks with whatever is in his reach. So if you were an Italian chef here on 31st Street, in your reach is Koreatown, the halal guy cart on the corner, Russ and Daughters Bagels, you name it, Ethiopian food, Middle Eastern food, it's New York. And a true Italian chef would play with all of those flavors. He wouldn't be authentic if he was in New York City. And that's where Dale wanted to come at it from.
Downstairs at Massoni, first dish you're going to demo is?
So we just changed this. It's our savory cannolis. So we wanted to have a spin on a traditional cannoli. We fill this with house-made ricotta, sweet English peas, and a little lemon zest and thyme. And then we wrap it in prosciutto, and then we are crusting the ends with rendered prosciutto scraps.
Instead of like the pistachios chopped
Yeah,
up or
instead of
whatever.
chopped up pistachios.
You make those in-house?
So, our little secret to that, they're egg roll skins.
Classic. I love it. So,
Yeah.
kind of Asian borrowing fusion. Who knows? You're biting, it's crispy, it's delicious, whatever. So we're going to see pasta coming off the pass tonight. You got a great pasta program. And pizza. Talk about this, because we kind of come to this time in New York when pizza really like game changed. People really began to bore down on what kind of flour am I using? What kind of dough is it going to be? I mean, sometimes the hardest things are the simplest things, right? Like to make a great croissant, to make a great baguette, to make great pizza isn't so easy.
It is the hardest. This pizza dough that we're using here at Massoni was the hardest thing that we did here. Oddly enough, really good friends of mine, Matthew Hyland and his wife Emily Hyland, they lived in my building in Brooklyn.
Wow.
So I was
From
in
Emily
the
Squared?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I walked to them and I said, hey guys,
Help.
can you help me? So they said, yeah, of course. They're homies. They're from Brooklyn. They said, come by the restaurant. We'll show you what we do. So they were kind enough to help us with our dough. This dough is a 48-hour ferment. I'll let everyone else say it. This is a Detroit-style pizza.
Right.
And the pizza we're gonna put together for you guys today is new to us. It's our heirloom tomato pizza. It's our tomato pie. Jersey, if you're from Jersey, you know the tomato pie. Philly, South Jersey,
Yep.
the tomato pie. So this is our version of it.
All right, run with it.
So Mike, we've buttered the bottom of this pan, put the dough in, 2 types of cheese. Now we're gonna go with the toppings for this particular pie. Fresh garlic oil, red onion, some chili flake, these beautiful little sun gold tomatoes. We're gonna hit it with a little bit more salt before it goes in. That's the dish. Now this gets fired in the oven for 16 minutes.
16.
16. 16 minutes later.
Oh, look at the sides of that, huh? Beautiful color.
That second cheese, that's what that is. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut this already. And we're just gonna finish the pizza with a little bit of stracciatella and some fresh slices of heirloom tomato.
That's a tomato pie. So continued expansion, you guys are a team, and it's just things have kind of worked out great for you in a lot of ways. It's almost been serendipitous.
It has.
I mean, not that you're not hardworking, but I've seen restaurants
No,
with 8 teams
it-
behind them, and they crash and burn.
Anybody says it's easy is a liar.
And we always tell our friends, look, there is a lot of success. It is forward moving. And a lot of times our contemporaries who we love, we feel like we're a part of a New York City class, if you will, like a high school class of other restaurateurs that we adore. We'll often get like, hey, how'd you get into the hotel world? Or tell me how. Or why do you guys keep getting more deals? And we
Which are
often
3 great
say,
questions.
Look, we work really hard. We've made mistakes just like everyone else. But people, we often tell people, that initial spark, we were lucky. That first introduction into the world of hotels, friend who.
That was Miami?
Yeah, we were
I
in the
always
right
say
place at the right
it's
time.
amazing what a free drink will get you in this world.
Yeah.
All right, we're from the rooftop bar called
This is the Heights.
The Heights. That's
At
where
the
everyone has the
Hotel?
matching shirts. Heights
Exactly.
the Hotel.
Yep.
Ridiculous views in Midtown. Empire State Building's like right out our window.
Literally falling on us. Amazing.
I don't like heights. I'm not going anywhere near the edge, but everyone tells me it's beautiful and breathtaking.
Yeah.
What are you going to demo for us?
We're going to do our
Signature cocktail.
one of our signature cocktails here, which is the Prospect Heights, done with summer flavors. So cucumber, mint, a little bit of lime. Green tea is the flavor base.
What's
So
the booze?
The booze is vodka in this one. So we take
A vodka drink, okay.
Vodka, we infuse it with green tea for about a
Okay.
week, and then we use that as the base for the cocktail. And just finish with a little bit of cucumber, slice of lime, and a couple straws, and that drink is yours, sir.
Bingo. All right.
All right, cheers.
I'm not a huge vodka fan, but
Yeah.
it's super clean.
Yeah.
Not too sweet. Thank you.
I try to stay away from sweet. You can have flavor without going sweet.
Asian culture, it's a birthright. Italian culture, it's a birthright to eat well. There's never a thank you that was great at the meal. We did the dishes, we cleaned up, and then that's how we showed mom thank you. My mom never expected a great job. No one's oohing and ahhing over it. They're just eating, and they're like, great, it's done. But
You should have
the
met my
only
gra-
time they're talking is when it's not good.
Yeah, you should have met my grandmother. You would have loved her. Let's get you in the kitchen. Let's see some Italianish food.
sure,
I'm looking
for
for
sure.
this.
Mike Colameco's Real Food is brought to you by the continuous, generous support of the following underwriters.
Extra virgin olive oil from Colavita, an Italian family brand.
Rachel Ray's signature specialty food line, designed for preparing meals at home.